Hi everyone, Miss Jones here. Welcome to our art lesson for this week. What you're going to need today is a black piece of paper. It can be any size. I'm using a black piece of construction paper, which is perfect. You're also going to need a pencil. Just a regular pencil will work. We're going to use this to sketch out some things, so make sure you have one with you. You're also going to need a variety of color construction paper. So any colors will do. I grabbed the entire rainbow here, but you can use whatever colors you want. You're also going to need a pair of scissors to cut out paper with, and a glue stick for gluing paper down. So this week we talked a lot about shape. That was our main element that we are focusing on this week. We talked about the difference between geometric shapes and organic shapes, practice sketching them and identifying them. And hopefully this week you read the article interview with Reggie Laurent. He's our highlight artist of the week. If you haven't gotten to that interview, later in the week you'll be able to read it. But it talks to him about his process in creating art. So he is going to be our inspiration for our project today. Usually Reggie works on canvas with acrylic paint, but we're obviously going to use paper to create our creations instead. But I like to highlight him as an artist for shape because he uses a lot of both geometric and organic shapes in his art, but he also uses line, which I find interesting and kind of brings last week into this week as well. So how we're going to start this project off is we're going to sketch our shapes. So this black paper is going to be our canvas, but we're going to sketch our shapes on our different colored paper. So try and sketch a variety of organic and geometric shapes on a variety of colors. So I'll just choose one and kind of start to get going. If you'd like, you can sketch out your shapes on your pieces of paper and then cut them out, or you can kind of sketch your shape and cut them out as you go, so you can kind of start arranging them on your piece of paper. While I work, I like to have pictures of Reggie Laurent's work up so I can get some ideas of the different types of shapes he uses. As you start placing your shapes, be sure to leave a little bit of space between them because we're going to be threading our piece of paper, not actually using a needle and thread, but we're going to be creating our white line throughout our piece, which is kind of a signature of Laurent's work. And when you get more shapes onto your piece of paper, you'll probably have to start making them different sizes to fit them into the open spaces. Geometric shapes are shapes that are usually found in math. They're shapes that have names such as triangle, circle, rectangle, square. Usually we learn these in kindergarten, whereas organic shapes are shapes that are often found in nature. So think about like a bean shape or a raindrop shape or a flower, a leaf. These types of shapes are mostly found in nature and usually have rounded and curved edges. So I'm just cutting out a bunch of shapes kind of to see how much I can fill my paper. And it's okay if you use the same shape twice. Sometimes it can be harder to think of a bunch of different shapes, and I kind of like the repetition of the same shape over and over again. After you get a few shapes, you can kind of start arranging them. With your organic shapes, it can kind of be hard to come up with an organic shape, but just start to move your pencil around the paper and kind of see what comes out. And as you start to build your piece, you can kind of find shapes that maybe fit in to the space of your paper. If you don't want your pencil marks to show, you can kind of just flip over your shape so that it won't show any of your pencil marks. As you're arranging your shapes, you can also start to glue them down. If you feel like, yes, I like that, I want that to go there. That might actually save you some time later on if you want to just glue down as you go. I like to plan mine a little bit, but then once I find spots for my shapes, I'll just start to glue them down. Try and leave a little bit of space between your shapes, enough for you to draw your line. And I kind of fill in my gaps with organic shapes. But with these big spaces, I try and put larger geometric shapes. So in the large spots, kind of fill them up with geometric shapes, and then you can start to add little organic shapes between them. All right, after you have all of your shapes glued down on your black piece of paper and you can see black all in between your shapes, you're going to take your crayons or colored pencils, whichever one you wanted to use, and you're going to start adding some designs to your different shapes. So you can use any colors for this and start to kind of like add lines and different types of lines that we talked about last week and kind of see what comes up. All right, after you've finished decorating all of your shapes, what you're going to do is you're going to take your white colored pencil or crayon, and we're gonna thread our project and kind of tie our entire project together. We're gonna create a line through all of these black spaces to kind of bring all the shapes in. So you can kind of start anywhere you'd like. I'm gonna start in the corner and just kind of move your pencil or pen like through the piece. And you can kind of overlap and loop around. There's really no guideline for this really. It's just kind of however your pencil or crayon kind of moves around the piece. Once you've gone around pretty much your entire piece, and kind of fill in any gaps maybe. But there you have it. So now we have our Reggie Laurent style art piece. Remember to flip it over and put your name on the back. You might want something that will stand out. At least that you can see. After you finish with your crayon, there you have it. You now have your Reggie Laurent shapely abstraction. Hopefully you enjoyed this project, and thanks so much for watching this video. I'll see you all next week. Bye.